Hey, it's Dave Chapin. Welcome to the Wolf Sports YouTube channel. It's not been sunny in Philadelphia, but there are actually some signs to be optimistic about to not count out the defending Super Bowl champions. Sign number one, Saquon Barkley is getting going. Clearly, Saquon hasn't come close to matching his epic 2,000-yard campaign from last season. He's far lower than the 5.8 yards per carry he averaged. Of course, not as many big runs. But the 20-carry, 122-yard performance at the Chargers, which included a 52-yard touchdown run and more chunk gains, was a potential sign that the run game could start clicking. In-season Hard Knocks gave a glimpse of Nick Sirianni, who has gotten more involved with the offense the past couple of games, telling offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo to keep riding Barkley when it was working. Ultimately, when Saquon is ripping off big plays, it brings a ton of energy to the offense and the entire team. Sign number two, A.J. Brown has already gotten going. The first month of the season for Brown was shocking in terms of the lack of individual production. He had 109 yards and a touchdown versus the Rams in Week 3, but he had yardage totals of 8, 27, and 7 in the other 3 of his first 4 games. It remained up and down from there, but as of late, the star receivers look like the player who set the NFL record with 6 consecutive 125-yard receiving games in 2023. During the 3-game losing streak to the Cowboys, Bears, and Chargers, Brown posted 8 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown, 10 receptions for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns, and 6 receptions for 100 yards. At Los Angeles, it could have been an even bigger game, including another touchdown, the potential game winner, if not for catches he didn't come up with on plays he normally makes. Brown's production isn't a force feed type of thing either, as can sometimes happen where forcing the ball to stars can hurt the team. He's just playing at a high level with much better usage than earlier in the year, and it's no doubt a positive to work off. Also, Brown's displeasure with both his own production and of the offense overall, noting that him getting the ball can get the offense going, doesn't appear to be an issue anymore. He appeared legitimately disgruntled for much of the season, to the point where it was fair to wonder what was going on between him and quarterback Jalen Hurts. There was even indication that the guys who, as best friends, helped get the deal done to steal Brown from the Titans weren't even talking outside of football. That also looks to have changed with a noticeable difference in interactions between Brown and Hurts in the huddle and on touchdowns. Hard Knocks also captured them talking and laughing during practice, which frankly seemed like something that was not happening before. As something else we do need to see more of, Devontae Smith can be used more creatively with even more opportunities down the field given his top-notch skill set. Sign number 3, the defense can win in the playoffs. The Philadelphia defense isn't as good as the Super Bowl winning team last season, but they're still a unit under Vic Fangio that can be a huge reason they win games and advance in the postseason. I'll start with Jordan Davis, who is having an all-pro campaign at defensive tackle. Jalen Carter is dealing with injuries to both shoulders, but will hopefully be better when he's back. Zach Bond was just an all-pro last season. Nakobe Dean is one of the league's most underrated players as a force at linebacker. Adoree Jackson had a very encouraging outing in the loss to the Chargers, his best game of the season while working with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. The biggest concern is probably the edge rush, but Nolan Smith is a high upside guy to watch as he gets more and more playing time since his November return from injury. And if there are any playoff games at Lincoln Financial Field, the defense gets even tougher at one of the most challenging places to play in the postseason. Sign number 4, Jalen Hurts knows how to win.
They have 100 yards. We won the game. Chill out with this.
I know all the negative pundits who hated Jalen Hurts during the pre-draft process were eager to bash him for the worst game of his career against the Chargers, with some of the know-nothings saying things like Hurts has never been a top 10 quarterback. Obviously, 5 turnovers, 2-on-1 play was costly, but Hurts has shown throughout his career, college and pro, that he only improves from adversity. He's a top-tier mindset to learn and grow from the mistakes. I'd rather the 5 turnovers happen during a regular season game than in the playoffs, and I'd be really surprised if we see Hurts have a similar turnover-filled game again this season. A big part of what makes Hurts great is that he'll do whatever it takes to win. If they need to run Saquon Barkley 30 times and not throw the ball much, Hurts won't care. If you dare Hurts to throw, as the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl, he can make you pay with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and company on the outside. Also, he'll likely use his legs more when necessary in January. Is it always pretty? No. But Hurts has stepped up on the biggest stage twice, and we know he can get it done in the playoffs. Sign number 5, they've shown they can do it. Even with the offense struggling mightily for much of the year, and again, there's reason to be optimistic about them getting on track. The Eagles have defeated the Rams, Bucks, Lions, all at home, and the Packers at Lambeau Field. Philly obviously had an ugly 3-game losing streak to Dallas, Chicago, and the Chargers, but there's certainly no one in the NFC that they line up against, and you'd be like, oh, they're done. For example, Lambeau Field in January is tough, but the Packers were barely favorites when they faced the Eagles at home on Monday night in November, and as mentioned, the Eagles won that. I didn't even bring up the looming return of All-Pro right tackle Lane Johnson, a player that the Eagles have been way better with over the years when he's in the lineup. Overall, All this is to say to not totally count out the Eagles. I'm definitely not saying the Eagles are a lock for a deep postseason run. They could easily get eliminated in the wildcard round with the offense looking a lot like it has for much of 2025. But with no clear juggernaut around the NFL, why can't the Eagles threaten for another title? Feel free to let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.